about to play Fortnite with kids. Is he a pedophile? Okay, I'm gonna knock the shit turd on that boy. You gotta hold me back. I can you talk all this when you see me though? But you can't say nothing when you see us though, right? But you can talk all that on the game though, right? I can see you, that don't matter. What did we say about our husband? Come on. Fuck his little ass up.
Fuck his little ass up.
I'm getting really tired of y'all. I'm trying to bust a little wide open.
It's time to tell it like it is.
What's up, my YouTube viewers? Also Facebook, family, friends, because I'm going to be putting this on Facebook as well. Something happened today that disturbed me greatly. Today is my son's birthday. Back when PlayStation 3 was still hot, he was much younger. He was what, 4, 5 years old, 6 years old, and I actually had him playing a lot of games, you know, the Sonic the Hedgehog games. He had so many daggone games. I spent so much daggone money on these daggone video games. He's had just a long list of, you know, the Ratchet and Clank and all kind of different games. I don't like the fact that he was introduced to these violent, these games that weren't appropriate for him. He was introduced to that at a very young age. And I say a very young age. Some people may not think that his age that he was introduced to those things was young at all. And I think that because a lot of people have their young children playing these violent and aggressive games. So I took the liberty of explaining some things to my son, having very serious conversation with my son, explaining to him that, hey, even though this person allows you to do this, to play these games, and bought this violent, I didn't know he was even playing it, had the game in his possession. He owned the game until he told me about it. Because the games I'm buying for him is things like Little Big Planet, and you know, all those type of games, which are more geared for his age range. You know, 9, 10-year-old, you know, for kids. That's more kid appropriate. Even on PS4, when I bought him a PS4, I got him Ratchet and Clank. I got him he was into Need for Speed for a while. I got him the Rocket League and all these different games. My son, he and I have been playing Sonic the Hedgehog games. We were playing Little Big Planet one time before. You can be playing, you know, Mario Brothers and all these games that are age appropriate for your very young children, and still have adults playing these games that you wouldn't expect adults to be playing, and they're cursing and acting a fool and just unnecessary. So my son and I got off of it. We immediately went and started playing Little Big Planet by ourselves instead of with other people. Another conversation I had with my son, I explained to him, you have anybody on this game, you have people on this game that are acting inappropriately, speaking inappropriately, cursing and acting a fool and everything, you immediately get off of that game. You turn that off. Anything inappropriate at all, you let me know, you immediately get off of that game. So we've had conversations like this several times before, and it made me proud. I think I shared this in one of my older videos. It made me proud one day like this, maybe a couple months after that, after we had the last conversation of many that we've had like that. And I happened to be in my room, and a lot of people may not know that. Maybe a lot of parents don't know this. But see, my son has his PlayStation in his room, his whole setup and everything, his whole account. I have my PlayStation in my room, my setup, my whole. So anyway, I could be in my room watching TV or on my laptop doing whatever I want to do, but still be in a party listening to them. They don't even know it. And it made me really proud because it was a day not long after we had the last time we had this conversation about that. And he's playing one of his friends from school on this game. And one of his friends from school had one of their friends join in. My son doesn't know this kid. As soon as the kid joins in the game, my son is like, hey, who are you? Do you say bad things? Do you do bad things? It's like he's just like running the questions out to this kid, just drilling him. And it kind of made me feel proud because it's like, you know, I realized that I've said some things to my son. I've had conversations with my son and it stuck. You know, I've instilled some really good things in my son. It made me really proud that he was, you know, making sure that this kid was somebody that, you know, he could actually play with, somebody that wasn't, you know, a bad kid. I decided to take some time to go into his room, cut his PlayStation on, and get on his game and put some money in his account on his PlayStation so he can buy these different outfits and these different characters and all these little toys in the game, these different games that he played, so he can have funds to be able to do that. So I spent $100 to put money in his little thing and all that, whatever. Cool, good to go. And I see his friend online, one of his little friends online. He sent me an invite, so I go ahead and join the party or whatever real quick, and it's literally about 4 other people in there. It's his friend that goes to school, and it's like 4 other people in there. And immediately, as soon as I don't have video of initially right away, but I got my phone out, unlocked it, and did what I could and started recording as soon as possible. But there's these very young kids, very, very young kids, and they are just, wow. They are speaking and acting in ways that are worse than a lot of the adults that I've been exposed to and I've heard while playing video games online. Fuck you, nigga, you ain't there. I mean, just going off on each other, threatening each other. Oh, fuck you, your ass just saying that in the game right now, cause you ain't gonna say that to my face. You ain't gonna say that when you say, yo, yeah, Terrell, he ain't gonna say that when he see us though. He talking all that shit on the game. He ain't gonna say that when he see us though. Just threatening each other, cursing like crazy, worse than the adults that I've heard on games. And I was talking to his friend on the game. He said to me that I know who they are. I'll tell you who they are. They started threatening him, calling him a snitch and calling him all kind of names and threatening him.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock the shit out of that man. You gotta hold me back.
He's calling everybody nigga, and they can't hear me right now. That's why he keeps asking for Eli, because they can't hear me right now. But he talking about you fuck ass nigga and yada 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 and fuck you. I'll fuck you up, boy. Boy, I'll fuck you up, boy. You.
Make me. Can you talk all this when you see me though? But he can't say nothing when you see us though, right? But he can talk about that on the game though, right? I can see him, that don't matter. What could we say about get her, but come on.
Fuck his little ass up.
I'm getting really tired of y'all. I'm gonna try to bust your lip wide open.
Bust your lip wide open.
You don't wanna do this. You don't wanna come here.
As soon as I got on, I didn't get a chance to start recording yet. But he said, Eli, you's a bitch. He thought that I was my son. He said, Eli, you's a bitch. And was saying, hey, that's Eli's dad.
Why is Eli's dad about to play Fortnite with kids? Is he a pedophile?
And that is y'all way too young to be using profanity and talking that way towards each other. So what? He said that. So what? What do you it's a bad thing for people to be honest? You shouldn't be talking that way. You shouldn't be acting that way. If it doesn't matter you don't joke like that. You're way too young to be coming out of your mouth with stuff like that. I don't know who your parents are. I don't care how old you are. I know you're not old enough to be talking like that. It's not even if you were a grown man. There are little kids on this game, and you should not be talking like that with no little kids on this game. So I don't care how old you are. I'll see if your parents actually approve of you speaking that way. Now maybe this doesn't disturb some of you. Maybe some of you parents are perfectly okay with your children, your 8, 9, 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12. One kid said he was 14. You're still not old enough to be talking like that. Maybe you approve of your children getting online and acting this way and cursing at each other and threatening each other. Maybe you approve of that. This goes beyond the video games. This stupid ass president can go and try to blame video games for the violence and everything in this country, which is beyond fucking stupid. They have the same video games in other countries and many, many other countries. And you don't see nearly as many mass shootings and problems in schools in these other countries. Facts. Don't blame the video games. This shit comes from the parents. The problem is you, the parents. Somewhere out there are too many damn parents that are not doing a good job parenting. These children get this from you. Something that I've tried to get people to understand for many years. Just like I had people arguing with me all the damn time about physical discipline. My mother beat the shit out of me growing up, and I turned out all right. We become the people we become based on our collective experiences in life. You may take that ass whooping and had a shit beat out of you all the time by your parents, and you may digest that differently. You may deal with that differently than someone else. Someone may be beaten by I know people who've been beaten by their parents and abused like growing up, and they just stay themselves. It's caused them to just kind of ball up in the corner and just kind of stay to themselves. That's the effect that it's had on them. Apparently they experienced something in their life that made them feel it's necessary to respond that way. Some have experienced things in their life that make them feel like it's necessary to fight back. Some of them may not do either. But then they'll go and demonstrate that when their parents are not around, in school or around their friends out in the street. What we need to understand is that the way that we act around our kids. I see it every day, all the damn time, at my job, out in the streets, every fucking way, on TV, all over the damn place. These black parents cursing around their kids, playing this foul ass, fucked up ass music while they're driving in cars with their young little kids. It's like we don't give a fuck about what we're doing to ourselves. This is the future of us, and we seem not to give a fuck about that. Yes, I'm speaking in general. If you got a problem with it, cut the video off. Fuck you. We need to address this shit. Stop ignoring this shit. I get tired of people arguing with me when you have there's no way to justify your argument. We are doing a horrible fucking job, and yes, I'm speaking in general. I know it's not everybody, not all black people, but far too many of us. Far too many of us. That's why it's been so many fucking years and things are not getting any better for us in this fucking country. We don't know how to fix our damn selves. We don't give a fuck enough about ourselves. It bothers me greatly when I see parents out here beating the shit out of their kids, smacking their kids and cursing at their kids in public, or speaking and acting in these fucked up ass ways around their kids. Your child is watching. They're gonna take that shit from you. These children online, they learned how to curse and say these things. They got this from somebody, somewhere. What you expose your children to, how you raise your children. Even though my son has been exposed to cursing and all kind of foul shit, he doesn't do that. He never does. I know that for a fact. Like I said, I listen in on his games. I do a little spying and everything. He doesn't know it. But that's being a good parent. You understand what I'm saying? That's being a damn good parent. And I'm proud of the fact that my son doesn't act that way. He doesn't respond that way when it comes to these kids acting a fool. But I listen to this shit all the damn time. I have conversations with my son and I explain to him why that's wrong. We've been at the mall and hear people cursing and acting a fool and all that. He's been at the mall and see these guys walking around with their damn ass completely out of their damn pants. I don't know why they're not getting arrested for indecent exposure. And I have conversations with my son. I don't ever want to see you. I don't ever want to see you walking around like you don't know how to dress correctly. You don't know how to wear your clothes correctly. I don't want to see you. I don't ever want to see you walking around looking like you've completely failed at life. I have these conversations with my son for a reason, because I don't want my son to turn out like these no good motherfuckers. We need to start exercising concern and care for ourselves. You can't be this fucked up ass group of people, or too many of us in this group, being fucked up and not caring, not giving a fuck. That's not gonna benefit us at all. Stop blaming other people, other races of people. Stop blaming racism and the man holding you back and all this dumb shit. When fact, deny it if you want, fact. We deprive ourselves, we hurt ourselves more than any other race of people does. We do this to ourselves too often. It's time for this shit to stop. This is our future. You care about your children, then you need to start paying fucking attention. Stop buying these inappropriate ass games for your kids, okay? Stop acting in these stupid ass, ratchet ass, no good ass, foul ass ways in front of your children. Be a better fucking example for our future. Subscribe to change. Subscribe to being better people. Subscribe to being better parents.